Over the last 45 days, I've scaled my friend's brand from 250,000 per month in sales to over 650,000. And in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the exact doc that I gave him to go take action on that got him the results this quickly. That way you can learn a couple things, take it, use it for yourself, and hopefully scale like he did. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so here we are on the plan and strategy doc. Now, I have to blur some things out and change a couple metrics here and there, obviously for his privacy, and that way you guys don't go spam him and find his brand, etc. So a few things are changed. But now just to show you the proof here, if I open this up, you can see inside of our community, you have him posting a Black Friday came late. This is December 30th, 2024. That's 110,000 in just 3 days. You can see him saying that right here as well. That should show you proof that he's actually doing these numbers. And if that's not enough, I did a full 11-minute interview with him explaining exactly how he did it as well, and you can hear it from him himself. So if you want to listen to that, I'll link in the description below and you could go check it out. So where did he start? So day one of consulting, his struggles were low AOV, very low returning customer revenue, decent conversion rate, but it wasn't great, but it was okay for the AOV he had. There's no systems or team really in place outside of customer service, editors, and an editing agency. He was pretty much just single channel Facebook. He had a bit of Google, but it was doing very bad. It may as well just been turned off. He had no email, just the default flows, and no SMS. He also had no process for creative strategy and content, and he had unoptimized upsells. These were his biggest struggles that I found after taking a look through his brand, his store, ad account, etc. Right? The pros that he had was he was good at marketing and had a great offer. Right? And I want to dial in on that for a second because he was doing 250,000 a month. And so no, if you're not doing 250 a month or 100K a month, you're either not good at marketing or your offer is not good. If you crack both of these, and obviously with decent AOV and conversion rate, those metrics line up as well, you will scale. Like you will be at 6-figure months, okay? So if you're watching this and you're not there, go focus on that. Now, if you're watching this and you're in the range of 100K plus per month and you want to get to the million a month or get to the 650K per month like he did, I get clients all the time that come to me with they're doing good scale because they're good at marketing, but they have no ecosystem set up. They have no backend. They have no returning customer revenue. They have no systems in place, right? And that's just a ticking time bomb. So what I walked them through here in the next 45 days, as you can see, was I fixed some of these key issues, but I also just built out an actual backend of the business and built systems into his business. That way he can scale and continue to scale, right? That's not just like, okay, cool, 45 days it does 650, but the next 30 days it just crashes back down to, 250 that he was at. Right? That's what we don't want. So pretty much what I'm doing here is turning this from a standard dropshipping store or a standard brand that's just good at marketing to transitioning this to an actual brand or business, right? With the systems, with teams, with recurring revenue, with a high returning customer rate, with a good and low chargeback score. All these kinds of things that make a long-term sustainable business is what I'm building in. Now, I can't say this happens all the time where they go from 250 to 650 in 45 days. It's pretty insane, even me just saying that out loud. But the possibility is there, right? If you get good at the marketing, you have a great offer, and then you build out an actual back end to your business, you will scale. And I'll walk you through exactly what happened, right? So after the 45 days, when he hit 650,000 per month, basically he had Google Ads, a proper setup and scaling. He had great email flows and sending consistent campaigns. He had SMS flows and campaigns. He was building out a creative team with clear KPIs. I gave him my full hiring process for this. And he had increased AOV through better upsells and funnel, increased profit margin through shipping thresholds and pricing, system in place for creative strategy and getting consistent good content. Good obviously is important, not just random content. And he started having an ecosystem effect from the supplementary channels, email, SMS, etc. And because of this, Facebook now became the focus as being new customer acquisition, not profit generation. There's too many people who live and die by their Facebook results and expect their expect their business to generate their profit through the Facebook ads. When in reality, what Facebook is best at is finding new customers at a profit for you, not producing 20%, 25% profit. If you're running your Facebook focusing on 20%, 25% profit margins, you're doing it wrong and you're missing out on insane profits and scale because you're not taking advantage of the ecosystem effect, okay? And because of this, his profits increase massively, right? If you want me to do a doc like this for your brand, in the link in this description, there's a video. You click on it, it'll take you through and walk you through how you can qualify to do what I did for Resin here for your brand. So if you're interested, take a look. We only work with brands doing over $1 million a year. So if that's not you, I'm sorry. Come back when you're at that point so we can help you scale. So with that being said, here's the actual next steps that I told him to take. Now I had to remove lots of this because once again, I don't want to go too in detail of his brand, and two, it would be like a 45-minute video. So I kind of condensed this into what were the top priorities that I gave him and some of these sub points that I gave him to actually go take action on. And once again, props to him because he took action right away. I gave him this within 2-3 days. He was taking action, and then he also has a bi-weekly one-on-one with me and a weekly call and a 24/7 chat and Q&A. And so with that, he was asking questions all the time, getting me to review his work and the steps he was taking on this doc. And boom, you take off massively, right? So if I gave this to you, but you didn't put in the work, it wouldn't make a difference. So what I'm saying is, before I go over this, take notes of this doc and the steps I'm telling him, because you could go take that to your own brand and store, but actually take action on it. I don't know what more proof I can give you than $250 a month to $650 in 45 days to show you that this shit works, okay? So with that being said, let's get into it. First, I gave him my contact for my email agency and Google agency. This was massive. Reason why I didn't want him to go do this in-house is because there's so many things you need to do to optimize your offer, conversion rate, landing page testing, build out the team, manage the team, make better ads, get the content. Like there's so many things you need to do to optimize and scale Facebook further. That's not worth your time and effort to go bring email and Google in-house yet, because you have to go through a big learning curve. And instead, your time is better spent on just scaling Facebook than let someone who comes in who's very good at those two specific things to bring you from 0 to 80-90% of what you need in a month to 3 months. Versus you coming in trying to do it in-house and, take 6 months to learn it, then optimize it and set it up and yada, 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 right? Learn from your mistakes. So I gave him the contact to my email Google agency and he signed with them right away to get started. What that did was finally had supplementary channels to Facebook, right? Because the more you spend on Facebook, the better your email does, the better your Google brand search does, the better your organic search does, the better your SMS does, right? So without that in place, you live and die by your Facebook results and your Facebook profit. But when you actually build out the rest of the ecosystem, and even just starting out with these little channels like email and Google, it makes a huge, huge difference, okay? Now, the next thing I told him to do was improve AOV. This was a big, big improvement he needed to make. So the first is he had it as default. There's no free shipping threshold. It was just everybody comes through then pays shipping. And it was working, which is great. And you want to charge shipping. But you want a free shipping threshold. Reason being is it will improve your AOV without hurting and sometimes even improving your conversion rate. So to do this, you need to play around with different thresholds to see what works best. Ideally, I told him to start slightly above your AOV. Now, this will require a decent amount of testing to find the sweet spot. But he put it in place and it worked. AOV increased. Conversion rate did not change, right? And that's a huge, huge win right away. So the idea is, right, if you have the free shipping threshold, you make more if they go past the threshold than if they paid for the shipping. And if they don't, you still make more money because they pay for shipping, right? That's how you want it set up. So the threshold should be in place where if they get the threshold, you make more profit than if they didn't and just paid shipping. And the ones who don't, well, they go pay shipping and you still make more money anyways, okay? That's why you need that in place. Next thing was post-purchase upsell. He had a standard post-purchase upsell flow, which is, your hero product, and you sell it again at just a bigger discount, and then you downsell it at an even bigger discount, and that works and it's okay. But what I want you to try, as I told him, is test a big bundle with the same product, but at a bigger discount and crazy offer. The idea is the AOV of this offer should be decently higher than your normal AOV. Reason being, the take rate might drop, but because it's such a higher AOV, the revenue per visitor almost always increases. And the people who just bought from you are more likely to spend the most money because they trust you because they just bought from you and they want more of what they just bought. And so if you create a big bundle with 1, 2, 3 products, or maybe it's multiple of the same product, right? But at a high AOV, take rate would drop. In his case, the revenue per visitor increased massively, right? And that's an extra $2, $3, $4 to your AOV just from a post-purchase upsell. So that made a big difference as well. Next is he didn't have any pre-purchase upsells in his cart. So I told him, have complementary SKUs. Start with what you have on the store because he had some couple others already on the store. But you need to be testing and finding more. And the important part with these new SKUs is it has to be high margin and high perceived value. Now, there's too many brands that I see who maybe do have 1 to 3 SKUs as upsells or cross-sells on their page, but they stop there. And that's an issue because you need to consistently be testing new SKUs to find the ones that have better margin, better perceived value, and a higher take rate, and ideally even higher AOV, because it makes a huge, huge difference to your overall profits on the store, right? If you have 2 to 3 upsells in your cart right now, and it's been there for months, and you haven't tested it, what are you doing? Go test it, okay? So he did that, and once again, and he had no pre-purchase upsell, so this made a big difference right off the bat. So go take that with what you will. Now, next thing was pre-selected shipping, insurance, and package protection. If you don't have this, it's free money. You should have it. Under your or just above your add to cart button in your Slido cart, you have a pre-selected upsell for shipping, insurance, or package protection. And yes, actually, have package protection for them and provide them that service. This isn't just a fucking scam. Provide it for them, okay? That's on you if you take this and you don't actually give them a better service. Now, I told him start at $3 and increase by $1 every week until you see a drop off. I see brands get away with $2. I see brands get away all the way up to like $6 to $8. I even saw a brand with this pre-selected at $12. Now you have to test once again to find the sweet spot, because at some point you will have a drop off of conversion rate in that cart page. But a safe bet is start around $2 to $4. I just said, okay, go in the middle with 3, then increase by $1 every single week until you see the drop off. Very simple. And once again, the shipping threshold plus post-purchase upsell plus the pre-purchase upsells in cart plus now the shipping insurance, like he just added $4 to $8 of pure profit to every single order that comes in, which is massive, right? Especially if you're doing any kind of decent scale, like 250,000 a month, and you're pushing decent volume of orders per day, like that's a shit ton, right? So make sure you implement that. So once we figure out a free threshold that works, or if it doesn't, right? Test increasing shipping prices until $1. So the same thing we do with the shipping insurance, your at checkout shipping prices that the customer pays for shipping, if they're under the threshold, you should also be testing to increase that. Now, sometimes if you test the increase and it doesn't work, okay, we'll test a decrease, because you may actually get the bigger conversion rate where it actually makes more sense to charge less. Point is, test it till you find the sweet spot. Most cases, you're probably charging too little for the shipping. Next, that was what we did for AOV. Now for conversion rate, and once again, like there's so many other things, because the business is complex, right? Every business is unique and complex. And this was like 10, 15 pages, these notes that I gave him. I had to condense it to even give to him. That way he could take quick action on it. But I had to condense this even more. That way this isn't a 15-minute video and you get the main points that you can take, and that will hopefully make the biggest difference for you. Okay. So that was AOV. Next was to improve conversion rate. So 1, show shipping times in checkout. If you go to checkout and it just says standard shipping and then standard priority processing shipping, you should have after that in brackets the actual shipping times. Reason being is even if you say it on the product page, people don't read that, or a lot of people don't, and you'll get a lot of complaints in your customer service. 2, if your shipping's fast, it will improve conversion rate. And 3, either way, it should help with the conversion rate drop off at checkout by actually showing the shipping times at checkout. Plus, you get a lot less complaints to your customer service because you tell them, and it's very, very clear. So don't worry about, oh, but my shipping times is, 11 days, 12 days. Okay, great. That's like 5 to 7 or 5 to 8 business days. Put that at checkout, and it'll help your customer service and your conversion rate. Next was improve homepage. So a lot of people who scale and are very good at marketing, right? They just focus on the product page and the landing page, which is great. And you should be doing that to get to the scale he's at. However, when you do get to the scale he's at, because you're spending a lot on Facebook ads, people will go search for you on Google, right? They'll go to your homepage, they'll look around, they'll go look at reviews, etc. And that way you need an actual decent homepage. So his homepage was just a mess. It was pretty much non-existent, which is fine when you're just starting, right? Don't put effort there. But when you're at scale, it makes a difference, right? Because you'll actually get thousands of people a month coming to your homepage. And if it's shit, you're losing out on free money. So I told him, hey, build out an actual homepage. And I gave him the template. He did that. Great. Conversion rate on the homepage went up. Not rocket science here. Next was I made his announcement bar stronger. So it was just a sale, right? But the point is, if you have a free shipping threshold, make sure you put it in there. That way you're not surprising customers in cart when they go there and they see the free shipping progress bar. You want straight up everywhere they are, right? We're trying to gamify it and put it in front of them as much as we can. That way it's very clear, and right away they know, okay, I should try to get my cart value over X, right? So pretty much I just told them to go, whatever the sale name is, holiday sale, the offer he's running, plus free shipping over X. Very, very simple. This works all the time. Next was Facebook. So there's a lot here, but his current ads, once again, because he was at $250K a month, his ads were pretty good. They look super organic. But what he needed to do was focus on new concepts and variations of different headlines and primary text to attract different segments of the audience. So he had great ads, but he was pretty much just reiterating on the same angle and broad concept over and over and over again, using the same headlines and primary text over and over and over again. And that's fine. But when you get to scale and you're struggling to scale, it means you need to branch out into new angles, new concepts, etc. And you need variations of different angles to attract different segments of the audience. If you keep hammering the same angles, same desires, you're going to attract the same people that you've already been doing for months, right? So you need to go broader. And that's what I told him to do. Next is you have to know that content scales, right? So I told him 80% of the new concepts you were testing should be net new content. You need to build a roster of great converting creators. And I gave him a system for doing that. This is important. A lot of you guys, you're like, okay, cool, I'll go abroad, I'll test more angles. But when you test these new angles, you're reusing content that you already have. And that's fine. Be resourceful with what you have. But content is what scales. And if you're reusing content that hasn't previously converted very well for you, why are you using it, right? Just because you have content doesn't mean you should use it. You reuse content when you know it converts. If if you have existing content, it happens way too much, right? People are using the same content over and over again because they don't want to spend money. But you have to. Content scales. So take a look at your ads and the ads you're making currently. If you're using content that you don't know for sure has converted for you very well in the past, go get new content or use content that you know converts. And even then, eventually, you're going to need new content that converts because you can't keep using the same content over and over again, right? You have to keep it fresh. So that's why 80% plus of the new content you should be launching should be net new content, and you need a roster onboarded of great converting creators that you've tested, proven that you know convert for you. That way, you get fast turnaround times on your content that you need for your briefs, and they're proven to work for your new concepts. What you don't want is a new concept or brief with a new creator. Two variables that we don't know work. We want a proven creator with new briefs, okay, and new content. That's what you want. That's how you scale your Facebook ads through better organic content. So with that being said, a couple more points here. New SKU scaling and returning customers. Now that he has email and SMS built out, he needs, once again, like I mentioned kind of earlier, to find new products, new SKUs, and offers for his email list, right? Just having email is enough. If you just have email and you keep promoting them the same shit over and over and over again, you're only going to get so many people to come back and buy. At some point, you need a fresh new offer. You need to give your customers a reason to come back and buy. So you should consistently be testing and launching new offers to your email list, right? You need reasons for them to come back and buy. Now, don't overcomplicate this, right? It's super easy to sell to your existing email list. Just come up with a product that makes sense with what they already bought. If you just check that off and it's a good product with good margins and high perceived value, like they will buy and your email will do very well. But you need to be consistently testing and launch new offers to your list. And you also use those new SKUs for upsells, cross sells, downsells, etc. Then team systems. So I give them my hiring process. I showed them how to build playbooks, which is how I train my employees, etc. Setting good KPIs for them, project management meetings. So he kind of needed all these things in place so his team could, actually have processes in place to be more efficient, especially that he was starting to build out his team, hiring a creative strategist, hiring more editors, etc. You need that in place to do that effectively. And so I showed him all that, and then I helped him kind of run the business more smoothly and free up more of his time. So overall, the big wins I told him will be from systemizing plus improving creative testing, and then increasing the volume of testing to 4 to 6 new concepts per week. So he was doing 2 to 4, right? And that's good and all, but now you need to do 2 to 4 with this new system that I put here, right? And do that effectively. Only when you do that effectively, go increase your volume, right? But until you have the system in place, which he didn't have the creative strategy, the editors, the project management, etc. There's no point in pushing volume because you're winning at a rate will just jump off a cliff, or you'll just be stuck in the kind of the hamster wheel of doing it all yourself. So you have the system in place, then increase volume. Don't do it the other way around. Now, other massive wins that should help scale fast: email plus Google, big AOV increases, and shipping/price testing to improve margin. Because that creates the scaling feedback loop of cool, you spend more on Facebook, Google, email, organic, etc. does better. That produces you more profit, which means you can push Facebook further despite the ROAS that you're actually getting on Facebook, because now you make more profit from your back end. So you don't need to profit as much on Facebook. So instead of pushing Facebook to 20%, you can now push it to 15%, then 10%, then break even while still profiting 20% or 25%, whatever your target is, from the back end, right? And you can get way, way more scale that way, and that's exactly what happened. And clearly, this came into fruition because I said other massive wins that should help scale fast, and in 45 days from 250 to 650, he scaled fast. He scaled really fast. So then I gave him an overview of just rough key points to get to the next milestones. Now this changes brand to brand and where you're at, but in general, for him to get to 350K plus per month was improve testing and media buying, improve creative strategy and systems, improve returning customer rate, email and SMS, improve AOV and conversion rate. Now this got him all the way to 650, but then increase volume of testing, expand to new markets and optimize, CRO testing, landing page testing, and then $1 million a month plus optimizing worldwide, new channel, second hero product, and all these other things that will come up along the way that I'm helping him with as well. Then I give him initial next steps, which I'm not going to show you because that was very specific to his brand. And then I gave him to do for the next time I called him, which was go through all of the strategy and creative strategy content I have within the consulting program I run. Use this KPI sheet to really figure out the true KPIs, MER targets for the ecosystem. And then obviously you just start taking action right away and asking questions. And he did that, and the results show for itself. Now, I can't promise you these results, but I can say we have a lot of amazing testimonials. I don't know many programs or consultants that get results like this for their clients, 250 to 650 in 45 days. And this is common for us. Linked below, if you go to the channel where I have this testimonial linked, you'll see a lot more of crazy results just like resin here. So if you want me to do this for you, there's a link below. Click it. It'll take you to a video explaining how you can qualify and work with me one-on-one so I could do for your brand and for you exactly what I did here, put a strategy doc together, work with you one-on-one to help scale your brand. So if you're interested in that, click below. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one.